3, 2, 1.
This video, I have a bunch of different projects. It gets crazy around the shop. So first up, I show you how I finish up the box on the 36. The air compressor, if you saw the other video, it's been a big hassle as far as it's still not even hooked up. I need to run electrical to it, but I did get all my air line ran over to my water separator. Before I did all that, I was like, well, maybe I should just insulate and drywall. And so I was only gonna do one wall, which turned into 3 of the walls. The only wall I still need to do is this one, and until I'm committed to doing mud and paint, I'm not gonna do that one because I need to, my toolboxes and everything are gonna be in the way. It's gonna be a pain. At least it's insulated, which makes it a lot cooler. And then in the same boat, I needed, but on the ceiling, I didn't really wanna do drywall because I don't wanna mud. I don't even wanna mud the screw holes and everything on the walls. So I definitely don't wanna do a ceiling. I want away a bunch of old barn wood off this barn they tore down. And then pulled the nails, which took forever, and pressure washed it so it didn't smell like an old barn with all the mold. Later I'll do plastic and then insulate up there. That way it stays nice and cool in here. I don't have to heat as big of an area. I do need to hook up the belts on this. I figured out some air filters because the old style air filters that were in it were like these metal ones, and so I wanted a real air filter. So I think these are like a mower or tractor or something, and so I just kind of put a coupler in there and extended those out, so maybe that will muffle the noise, keep the noise down a little bit. I had pulled my drums off the front of the 36 GMC. Before I pulled these bearings out, I want to make sure that I could get this part. This is kind of like a dust cover seal. And obviously I didn't want to pull it out and not be able to find one or get one. That's a glimpse of what's been going on in the shop. I hope you guys enjoy. Back in the garage working on the box lids again on the 36. So these are all my panels all glued up. As you can see, obviously there's a bunch of glue. The back sides look rough. It's real gritty. So I'm gonna sand all that down. Sanding side. If I had a planer, I would just run that through a planer, which would be fast because the thickness of these boards is different, so you kind of got to sand for a while. Obviously, it's not perfectly flat, but don't want to ruin it, but the truck's not perfect either. So the one mistake that I told you in one of the other videos that I wish I wouldn't have done is I sandwiched it between the table to keep it flat. Well, it kind of, all the glue stuck on the back side instead of kind of beading up like this. So you have to sand a lot longer, because when it beads up like this, you can just kind of scrape it off and then sand, because obviously the sandpaper doesn't like going through the glue as much as it does the soft wood. I did some work off camera. So basically I mounted this so that whenever it's all shut, the top is all flush. As you can see, they can close and it's nice and tight. This is how everything sits up in here. That way whenever you squeeze, it can move, and that way whenever it's shut, it's all flush. I cut the ends to size, which kind of took a second as far as like making sure and getting it right. I kind of dragged it across the side of the wood so that I could tell where it stops at, and then I had to go pick up drill bit that goes onto my impact. That way I didn't have my huge drill in here. I want to drill nice and straight into the corners, and then I put some tape on it. That way I don't drill too deep and hopefully go through the side of the box, which would really bum me out. That's how I wanted it to look. Pretty excited. Everything looks pretty tight on the sides. So, nothing too crazy. There's my hole. There's my hole. And then I'll put some stain in there in the holes. That way it doesn't rot out. This lid is probably as heavy as the rest of the whole box put together. So it's got a little weight, but you can kind of see how the tab hits. So it sits in there probably a 1/4 inch or so. So we'll see how long it lasts.